This is Blackjacks Weekly.
Presented by Bud Light on 97.3 ESPN.
Live from Chickies and Pete's in Egg Harbor Township. With your hosts, the voice of the Blackjacks, Nick Kosko.
And head coach Ron James.
Now, Blackjacks Weekly.
Live from Chickies and Pete's in Egg Harbor Township, it's Blackjacks Weekly presented by Bud Light. Your host, Nick Kosko, joined alongside by Atlantic City Blackjacks head coach Ron James. Wide receiver Kendrick Ings will join us in the second segment. Blackjacks will take on the Philadelphia Soul this coming Sunday at 4 o'clock. You guys catch that action right here beginning at 3:30 p.m. right here on 97.3 ESPN. Coach, glad you're with us once more as we're moving right along second half of the season. Obviously coming off a loss there to Columbus, but a nice way to bounce back this week. It's a short road trip over to Philadelphia, only a day trip. You don't have to stay overnight or anything. I know you fell short against Columbus, but highest point total of the season, 50 points. The offense looked pretty good. I would say it was probably just a slow start in that first quarter against the Destroyers last Friday that kind of held the game up a little bit.
Well, it's tough when you get down 14-0 to start a game on the road, and we dug ourselves a hole. But that being said, we came out and regained the lead in the third quarter. Getting that 2-for-1 end of the half score, and then getting the score in the third quarter. So, we did have our chances. We didn't do very well at the very end of the game as far as giving up a touchdown and not getting that last score. So, it was a very difficult game for us. We knew coming into it was going to be tough. They were hungry for a win, and it was a short week, two days of practice and on the road and flying out there to Columbus. But there's no excuses ever for our team. We're ready to go for this week and anxious to get into Philadelphia.
You guys were down 14-0, as you mentioned, but you clawed your way back into it, ended up taking a lead at the start of the third quarter. What can be done about those slow starts? Because it seems like there's a lull in the offense, at least maybe once a week, where the other team will score on two straight possessions and you guys maybe turn it over on downs or turn over the ball via a pick or interception. But then once the offense gets rolling, they're unstoppable. What can be done to fix those lulls in the offense and those slow starts in some of these games?
Well, just focus and execution. I mean, we've got the ability, and we've proven that we can come back and all those things that we try to do, to manage the game and get ourselves in positions to win. We've got a veteran team, half of our guys, I should say, and they know what they're doing. And we've got great guys, playmakers like Kendrick and Hippert and Lamarck Brown, and these guys know what they're doing. It's just a matter of really making sure the entire team is focused for those moments and get out to a quicker start and just, if we can play from ahead and we can play, possession for possession, we'll make the other team make the mistakes. We've been doing it to ourselves all season long, and that's why we're up and down. But at this point in the year, you have to start making a run for the playoffs because we're getting down to it. The 5 games to go, we're in the thick of it. We can't back away from our situations, and we got to know that every game's precious from here on out.
We look at those standings, and Albany's at the top right now. They suffered their first loss. They're 6-1 in first place. Baltimore and Washington are both 4-3, while you guys are tied with Philadelphia for that fourth and final playoff spot. Both teams at 3-4. You guys lost to Philadelphia back in week 1, but now you look back to this week. You guys play them 2 more times, including this weekend. Here's an opportunity now to get that tiebreaker back, and obviously you'll jump them by 1 game should you guys win this weekend. So let's look ahead to Philadelphia now. They're coming off a loss to Washington. Washington's a hot team right now, but it seems like Philadelphia, they have their MVP quarterback back there, Dan Rodabaugh, but they've had a revolving door of cast on offense as well as defense. I mean, it seems like the roster's been changed a lot this season, but they like to air it out. They're a big-time they're one of those big play offenses. What's been the game plan this week to go up against Philadelphia as compared back in week 1?
It's just all about being our best. I mean, the first game of the year, we didn't know what to expect, and we were trying to develop chemistry, and they're a veteran team, and we're trying to find our way at their place, and we had our chances. I mean, we showed up to play, and we played extremely hard, and could have run them out of their own building had we not turned the football over, but we did, and they took advantage. And, this time out, we have to look at it like we have to be better. We don't have to look at it like what they're going to do and how they're going to approach it, because we know they're going to approach it like a playoff game. I mean, Clint Ozell is a great coach, probably the best coach in the league, and he's fired up this week. I mean, he was really pissed off after that game, talking to his team and talking to the media. I haven't seen him that upset since he was a player, and so I know he's not used to the situation that they're in. I know they're going to bounce back, but we also know that our team is good, and we have to go into this situation willing to fight for everything. And if we can do that, go in with that mentality and turn it up, make sure that we're going to play it like it's playoff football, this should be a heck of a game with the best atmosphere of the year in Philadelphia.
Let's look on the defensive side of the ball for you guys. Obviously, L.J. Jackson is on IR currently with the wrist injury. Denzel Keys has subbed in for him. He started last week. Looked pretty. I mean, he's playing the position pretty well considering he's a wide receiver first. But he wants to get on the field. You guys need somebody there. He's a good option at the jack linebacker position. You guys also brought in Nick Taylor, a new defensive back, to the mix. How does this look on your defense? What does Denzel do that helps you guys out at Jack? And as well, what does Nick Taylor bring to the table, as he has not played in the indoor game since 2015 when he was with Orlando?
Well, Nick Taylor's, he knows the game. And he, like you said, he was with Orlando, but then he's played in the CFL. He's got tremendous speed, good range, great ball skills. He's the type of guy you want to add for a run here. And we've got a good secondary, so it's not like we're putting him in the mix because our guys back there are struggling. We'll put him in the mix because we think he's going to add something to the flavor that we have back there. And knowing that what we've got right now, losing LaRoche Jackson was big for us. I mean, he's plays with a lot of heart. He's a very physical player. Took a real bad cheap shot in the Baltimore game, hit from behind. I can't even believe that, there wasn't anything needed out on the other end on that thing, because we lost him for the season with a fractured wrist and a needless play. And so, we're disappointed about that, but we know that Denzel Keys is filling that void, and Denzel brings a lot to the table. He's very athletic. When you look at him, he could be, one of the rising stars in this game as a two-way player. I mean, he plays some defense. He's a big red zone threat. He jumps out of the gym, former basketball player. There's a lot of ability there and a lot of ways we can utilize him. So we're looking forward to seeing what, he does once he starts figuring this thing out. You got to remember, last week was the first full game he's ever played at the jack linebacker position, so he's only going to get better.
Talk about his length. You mentioned his length is really good because he is one of the taller guys out there, and usually jack linebackers are sometimes they're DBs, sometimes they're wide receivers like him converted to jack linebacker. But he's a tall dude, and for a guy who's not allowed to blitz because of his position, he's got pretty good I would say height and hops to be able to knock down some of those balls that Rodabon might be airing out on Sunday.
Well, just ask our quarterbacks in practice. They'll tell you he's a tough one to throw over. I mean, it's like having a stanchion out there. You're trying to get over a tall ladder. It adds another dimension, and it also enables, if he can get in the right throwing windows, it will enable the DBs to react better and come downhill on some of these shorter passes. So, we're excited about it. We're integrating some different looks back there this week, and Sergio Gilliam's done a great job with those DBs, getting them ready for this week. And, they've got a lot to play up to because they know that last week wasn't our best defensive effort. I think the whole defense has got a big chip on their shoulder this week. And offensively, we want to be as prolific as we were last week and add to what we've been doing. So, I think the time is right for us to put together a complete game. And if we do that, this should be a great football game in Philadelphia.
And you mentioned how prolific the offense was last week. It seemed like everybody had their coming out party last week against Columbus, including Lamarck Brown, 5 touchdowns. He absolutely went off. It started out with that 35-yard touchdown pass in the early second quarter, and then he was unguardable the entire game. He opened up lanes for guys like Antoine Grant and Kendrick Ings. I mean, these guys got wide open because Lamarck Brown was such a force last week. And how can he continue that this week?
Well, it's pretty simple. He doesn't have to continue it this week. We'd love it if he does, and then Kendrick would back me up in saying that he enjoys seeing him perform well too. But you have to understand, if they focus on him, that makes Kendrick one of the targets we're going to go to a lot more. And so they feed off each other. The great thing about our offensive system is you can't just focus on one player. If you're going to go ahead and focus on one player, there's 2 others that are out there that we're going to spread the ball around to. And the guy who's sitting next to you right now, Nick, he was the AFL Playmaker of the Year, and there's a reason for that. He gets the ball in his hands, he's electric. And Lamarck proved that he could go the distance on a simple slant route. It's like I call him thunder and lightning when I watch him play, and not to try to steal anything away from the fullback running back combination of the Giants back in the day.
I'm assuming Kendrick's the lightning because of how fast he is.
Oh yeah. Well, he can tell you that the nickname I gave him in 2014 when he came up to Pittsburgh with was beep beep. Yeah. I mean, he's like the road runner. He's gone. That's all you hear. Beep beep, gone. But Lamarck is one of those guys that sneaks up on you. You look at him and go, okay, well, he's a big guy. He probably doesn't run that well, but he does.
Yeah.
And then if you think that he's not running that fast and you try to put your shoulder into him, as a defensive back found out in Columbus, you're out of the game and on IR because you can't run through that man.
I mean, he is a former running back, so he's got the power to him. All right, we're going to step aside, take a quick break. On the other side, we will meet Lightning or Beep Beep himself, Kendrick Ings, will come up and join us on the other side. Make sure to keep it locked. You're listening to Blackjacks Weekly, presented by Bud Light, right here on 97.3 ESPN.
Atlantic City Blackjacks football is on 97.3 ESPN. Listen all season as the voice of the Blackjacks, Nick Kosko and Coffee Jones, bring you all the exciting play-by-play action.
Yes, it is. Touchdown, Lamar Brown.
The Blackjacks head up the expressway to face the Philadelphia Soul this Sunday. Coverage begins at 3:30. It's Atlantic City Blackjacks Arena League football on 97.3 ESPN. We're all in.
Tropicana Atlantic City is not just a 24-hour gaming destination, it's a premier resort providing entertainment for everyone. Located on the beach and boardwalk, it's home to a wide variety of restaurants, bars, pools, and their very own IMAX theater. This season, Tropicana Atlantic City is proud to team up with the Atlantic City Blackjacks as the 2019 inaugural season presenting sponsor. For more information, visit Tropicana.net. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Ever wonder what ingredients are in Bud Light? Just check the packaging. We brew with hops, barley, water, and rice. Ever wonder what ingredients are in Coors Light? You can't check the packaging. You have to go to their website, download a PDF, and scroll to page 3. There it is. Coors Light brews with hop extract, barley, water, and corn syrup. Bud Light, brewed with no corn syrup. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, AB, St. Louis, Missouri. Based on information available at MillerCoors.com as of January 16, 2019.
The doctors at Reconstructive Orthopedics are dedicated to getting you expert orthopedic care you need for your bone, joint, muscle, or ligament injury or condition. When you need exceptional care focused on you, see the same orthopedic doctors that treat the Atlantic City Blackjacks at Reconstructive Orthopedics. Available in Bordentown, Cherry Hill, Medford, Morristown, Sewell, Vineland, and Voorhees. Reconstructive Orthopedics, focused on you.
Hi, I'm Ron Rossi, and it's summer sales time here at Rossi Honda. You can lease the all-new 2019 Accord LX for only $179 a month. And don't forget, the oil changes are on us, up to 5 years or 60,000 miles. At Rossi Honda, we treat you better, period, for less. On Delsey Drive in Vineland. Shop us 24/7 at RossiHonda.com.
$31.95 down, tags, dock fees extra. 36-month lease, 10,000 miles per year to qualified buyer. See dealer for details.
Town Square Media has teamed up with Rossi Honda on South Delsey Drive in Vineland to bring you the Teen Safe Driving Program. As parents, we need to instruct our teens how to handle emergencies, remind them not to text while driving, and never drink and drive. Bring your teen's car into Rossi Honda for a free safety check, no matter what the type or where you bought it. Or have them come in for a free safety class, where they'll learn how to change a flat tire, what to do about a dead battery, or what to do when they run out of gas. Call Rossi Honda for an appointment.
Tilton Fitness, the official gym of the Atlantic City Blackjack players and Diamonds Dance Team, invites you to visit one of our 7 locations throughout New Jersey. Try one of Tilton Fitness's award-winning group exercise classes with over 125 to choose from every week. Use our state-of-the-art cardio and resistance equipment. Take a swim in our pool. Relax in our jacuzzi, steam room, or sauna. And complimentary babysitting for up to 2 hours. Tilton Fitness. See what we have to offer you.
Never go hungry when you have Stir It Up Catering right around the corner. Established in 2002, Stir It Up caters events from Cape May to Philly and everything in between. Catering services range from elegant dinner parties and large weddings to casual food for a laid-back gathering. Standing by the Jersey Fresh motto, Stir It Up Catering supports local farms and fisheries by selecting all homegrown products. Stop by their new storefront off Tilton Road in Egg Harbor Township or go online to stirritupnj.com.
Ever wonder what ingredients are in Bud Light? Just check the packaging. We brew with hops, barley, water, and rice. Ever wonder what ingredients are in Coors Light? You can't check the packaging. You have to go to their website, download a PDF, and scroll to page 3. There it is. Coors Light brews with hop extract, barley, water, and corn syrup. Bud Light, brewed with no corn syrup. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, AB, St. Louis, Missouri. Based on information available at MillerCoors.com as of January 16, 2019.
This is Blackjacks Weekly.
Presented by Bud Light on 97.3 ESPN.
Live from Chickies and Pete's in Egg Harbor Township.
Back here at Chickies and Pete's in Egg takeover township. It's Blackjacks Weekly presented by Bud Light and Kosko. Joined alongside now by wide receiver Kendrick Ings joined the program. Kendrick, thanks for joining me, man.
Wow, thanks for having me, man.
We have to ask every single player every time they come on, how's Atlantic City been treating you so far?
Very well, man. I love the city. It's give me a little taste of Miami. You know, I'm a Miami boy. Y'all got the beaches, the casinos. It's pretty nice. The weather's starting to warm up. Yesterday it was a little cold, but it's starting to warm up, and I love it.
It reminds you of Miami Beach. I don't know what beach you're going to. Atlantic City.
Not just the beach in general, the water. You know, it's slightly different, but I mean, it's the water.
I was gonna say I've been to South Beach. South Beach is pretty nice.
Yeah, it's different. It's way different, but we don't have the boardwalk. I've never seen a boardwalk before, so that's my first time being on it. Yeah, I love the boardwalk. It's nice.
Awesome,
the big. Is it a Ferris wheel? Somebody said not to call it a Ferris wheel. They said to call it something else, but it's a Ferris wheel to me. But I still call it a Ferris. I don't know who else would call it anything else but a Ferris wheel. I forgot the name they told me to call it, but it's a nice city. I like it.
Awesome. Glad to have you aboard. So going back to week 1 against Philadelphia the first time, you kind of got off to a slow start, but you picked it up in the second half. And then weeks after that, particularly in the last couple of weeks, you've been going absolutely off. I mean, it seems like you're unguardable at this point. I think it was against Albany or the first game against Baltimore. You really showed out. Actually, it was against Albany. 4 touchdowns first half. What's gotten into you lately? Has the preparation changed since week 1, or you just kind of need that first game to get the kinks out of there?
A little bit of both. A little bit of that, and me getting healthy each week. I got a little banged up right after camp, so. Banged up, like my knee was getting a little banged up. I was banged up a little more spot. You know, camp injuries, little camp banged up. I got healthier doing weekly got healthier and felt better. Me and Randy started watching film together and just going over things we can do, just different ways we can attack the defense. And we just gelled. We're still gelling, you know, even to this week, going over things in practice, things I could do better that I didn't do last week. It's just all about getting better each week. So that's our goal, that's our team goal, and that's me and Randy's goal together to get open, make sure I'm not unguardable. That's the main goal. Like, I feel like nobody can guard me in this league. I feel highly about myself, and he thinks highly of me too, so I have to prove myself.
Now, your story is very fascinating. So for those who don't know, you actually did not play college football.
No, sir.
You made a jump right to the professional leagues. And so I'm just going back, going through your story a little bit. You know, you tore your ACL senior year of high school, right? And then you were going to go play in college, but the grades weren't there, so you decided to go the junior college route, and then
papers got missed
up.
A
couple things happened there, and then you actually had a heart murmur. Is that correct?
I still have it. I was born with it. It's nothing serious, but whenever anybody hear heart murmur, their eyes light up like, it's a scary thing. Right, people die from it.
And they told you that you could not play because of that heart murmur.
Well, they wanted me to get the test done myself. They didn't want to cover it, and the tests are like $4,000 to $5,000. And at that time, I was 19 years old. I didn't have the money to get it, so I told them if they wasn't going to get it from me, then they could send me home, and that's what they did because they took my scholarship.
So your story was very interesting because you had no scholarship, you weren't able to play college football. So tell the audience out there how you actually got into professional football, because you've had multiple stops: Canadian League, semi-pro, the Arena League. You've had a couple stints in the NFL as well. To tell us how your professional journey started.
Semi-pro. You know, semi-pro is like a optimist for grown men. So I needed film. That's why I needed film. Every combine or workout I went to, a professional workout I went to, they was like, you're fast, you're a raw athlete, but we need more film with you playing receiver, because I played quarterback in high school. So I played semi-pro for like 5 games, had like 15 touchdowns, put my film together, sent it to all the AFL teams, anybody that wanted, anybody in teacher I could get. So I got a shot to go to CPIFL, and that's a minor arena league in Dodge City, Kansas. The Dodge City Law went up there for a season. Played good, put my film together, sent it to every AFL team. Pittsburgh Power, Ron James was the head coach at the time. They brought me in, and after that, that season was crazy because I came in on a 2-day waiver, and I stayed for the rest of the season. And if they would won that last playoff game, I think SK got hurt. He was going to sign me that following week. So, and then he was like, man, I know the season end. We were thinking about bringing you in next year. So I'm excited, thinking I got a team to come back. Then they fold. So I'm back to square one. So I was in Tampa one weekend. They had a workout. I went. They called me 2 days later, and they signed me from there. So I went from Tampa Bay Storm to Detroit Lions to BC Lions, then back to the Tampa Bay Storm for 2016 season, 2017 season, and 2018. I was last year with Baltimore Brigade, and then this year I'm here in AC.
And you had a shot with the Tampa Bay Bucks as well.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Squad, right?
Like last 2 weeks of the season, I believe somebody went hurt. I was living in Tampa. I'm local. They know me, so they brought me in for a workout, like what they saw, and they signed me for the last 2 weeks of the season.
So talk about that first NFL shot you got back in Detroit. So you played for Pittsburgh in 2014. It was a great team, of course, under Coach James. You get your shot with the practice squad and training camp with the Detroit Lions.
No training camp.
No
they brought me in week 1.
So tell me about that experience going to the NFL. For guys that, anybody who goes to the NFL, whether they're a practice squad guy or they're a Hall of Famer, all these guys have played college football somewhere. I mean, what was that like for you and for people like just talking to you? Like, you never played college football, all of a sudden you're on an NFL team. What was that like?
It was mind blowing. It's like the whole setup is just different. I've never seen anything like it. So I'm like a kid in the candy store looking at all the players. I saw Barry Sanders while I was up there. That's one of my favorite running backs. I was up there with Megatron. All these Golden Tate, Stafford, all these great guys that I look at on TV, and I'm here with them, like right in 2 lockers next to them. But other than that, the football atmosphere is amazing. It's very, very professional. The facilities are outrageous. They got everything you need. You don't need to be going nowhere. You go there. It's one-stop shop. Anything you need, you can get from there. So it was fun.
It's like living like a king up there.
Yeah, man. Basically, it was fun. So practice squad is really different. For those who don't know about it, it depends on when do you get in the system. I got in the system week 1, so they just really needed the body to do what for practice. We emulate the team they're playing against. That week they had nobody on practice squad, so it's a lot of running. I'll tell you that much. But it was fun.
Your cardio's up now.
Yeah, it was fun. I had a good time. I took a lot from it and learned a lot from it, and it helped me grow as an athlete, definitely.
So now you were in Baltimore last year. What made you decide to come over to Atlantic City, a new expansion franchise in the Arena Football League? Was it because of Coach James and some of the other guys you used to play with?
Definitely. Coach James, I know him. I had a great season with him. First of all, he's the first AFL coach I had. He's a great coach. I love him as a person, love him as a coach, love the way he runs his system. 2017, we had a great year. Went to the Arena Bowl. Why not go with my coach? And then, of course, Randy Hippert came here. Lamar Brown came here. Those are my guys. I got Hobbs. It's a lot of guys that I have great relationships outside of football, so it was an easy decision. Plus, it's a new city. I've never been. I like to go to places that I've never been and never been here, so I'm glad I made this decision.
You're certainly flashy in a flashy city. We're going to step aside, take one last break. On the other side, Coach James will rejoin us. We'll look ahead to Philadelphia, and we'll get the source of that nickname out there too. Yeah, exactly. Make sure to keep it locked. Listening to Blackjacks Weekly, presented by Bud Light, live from Chickies and Pete's in Egg Harbor Township, right here on 97.3 ESPN.
Atlantic City Blackjacks football is on 97.3 ESPN. Listen all season as the voice of the Blackjacks, Nick Kosko and Coffee Jones, bring you all the exciting play-by-play action.
Yes, it is. Touchdown, Lamar Brown.
The Blackjacks head up the expressway to face the Philadelphia Soul this Sunday. Coverage begins at 3:30. It's Atlantic City Blackjacks Arena League football on 97.3 ESPN. We're all in.
Ever wonder what ingredients are in Bud Light? Just check the packaging. We brew with hops, barley, water, and rice. Ever wonder what ingredients are in Coors Light? You can't check the packaging. You have to go to their website, download a PDF, and scroll to page 3. There it is. Coors Light brews with hop extract, barley, water, and corn syrup. Bud Light, brewed with no corn syrup. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, AB, St. Louis, Missouri. Based on information available at MillerCoors.com as of January 16, 2019.
Tilton Fitness, the official gym of the Atlantic City Blackjack players and Diamonds Dance Team, invites you to visit one of our 7 locations throughout New Jersey. Try one of Tilton Fitness's award-winning group exercise classes with over 125 to choose from every week. Use our state-of-the-art cardio and resistance equipment. Take a swim in our pool. Relax in our jacuzzi, steam room, or sauna. And complimentary babysitting for up to 2 hours. Tilton Fitness. See what we have to offer you.
Tropicana Atlantic City is not just a 24-hour gaming destination, it's a premier resort providing entertainment for everyone. Located on the beach and boardwalk, it's home to a wide variety of restaurants, bars, pools, and their very own IMAX theater. This season, Tropicana Atlantic City is proud to team up with the Atlantic City Blackjacks as the 2019 inaugural season presenting sponsor. For more information, visit Tropicana.net. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
With approved credit requires GMF financing. On some models, see dealer for details.
Bennett Chevrolet's summer savings event is going on now because we're overstocked and need to move over 200 vehicles ASAP. So we're selling every new vehicle in stock at $500 below the GM supplier employee price. Plus, you keep all the rebates up to 25% off the MSRP. Yes, $500 below and all the rebates up to 25% off the MSRP on your choice of any new vehicle in stock. Plus, there's 0% financing available that can save you thousands more on some of our most popular vehicles. And if you need trade-in assistance on your run-down, burned-out old trade, Bennett's giving you a minimum $7,000 for any trade, no matter its condition, towards any pre-owned vehicle in stock. Imagine how much more your nice trade could be worth. And our non-commissioned sales consultants are paid on your satisfaction, not on how much you spend. So you'll love your experience when you find new roads at Bennett Chevy, Egg Harbor Township, and BennettChevy.com.
The doctors at Reconstructive Orthopedics are dedicated to getting you expert orthopedic care you need for your bone, joint, muscle, or ligament injury or condition. When you need exceptional care focused on you, see the same orthopedic doctors that treat the Atlantic City Blackjacks at Reconstructive Orthopedics. Available in Bordentown, Cherry Hill, Medford, Morristown, Sewell, Vineland, and Voorhees. Reconstructive Orthopedics, focused on you.
Ever wonder what ingredients are in Bud Light? Just check the packaging. We brew with hops, barley, water, and rice. Ever wonder what ingredients are in Coors Light? You can't check the packaging. You have to go to their website, download a PDF, and scroll to page 3. There it is. Coors Light brews with hop extract, barley, water, and corn syrup. Bud Light, brewed with no corn syrup. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, AB, St. Louis, Missouri. Based on information available at MillerCoors.com as of January 16, 2019.
This is Blackjacks Weekly.
Presented by Bud Light on 97.3 ESPN.
Live from Chickies and Pete's in Egg Harbor Township.
Back here at Chickies and Pete's in Egg Harbor Township. It's Blackjacks Weekly presented by Bud Light. Nick Kosko joined alongside by head coach Ron James and, of course, wide receiver Kendrick Ings. Philadelphia on the schedule this Sunday at 4 o'clock at the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia. Catch the action right here on 97.3 ESPN. Pregame coverage beginning at 3:30. And Kendrick, we were just talking during the break. You mentioned the fast start. I mentioned with Coach before, the slow starts kind of kill any team in the arena football now, considering with the new timing rules. You mentioned if you guys get off to a fast start again against Philadelphia this time, you guys really won't be coming off the throttle.
Nah, we can't. We got to keep our foot on the gas, man. If we make less mistakes, like Coach said, whoever makes less mistakes in this arena league will win the game. Because it's a fast game. You can't make any mistakes. So if we go we haven't put together a full game yet. We put together a full game from first to fourth quarter. We'll come out of this game on top.
And Coach, it's kind of a wonder how people say that you guys have not put together a complete 100% game yet this season. You guys are sitting at 3-4. I mean, usually teams who can't put together a 100% game all season, they usually don't win games. You guys are in the thick of every single game, aside maybe from one against Albany. I mean, a couple other plays go your way. You guys are probably sitting pretty at 5-2, 6-1.
Right. So, I mean, what it shows you, Nick, is that both sides of the ball can dominate when they want to or when they're efficient. And so, the record belies the fact that we haven't done that. And what Kendrick was talking about is when you put together a complete game and both sides of the ball play the way they're capable of playing, this is a dangerous team.
As well as special teams as well.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, and it's a full palette we have to put together. When you look at going to Philadelphia, though, we're walking into a hornet's nest. They're going to be fired up for this thing. They are suffering this year, and they're not used to it. So it doesn't feel good. We just have to go in there and play the way we're capable of playing and know that we have to give it our best.
Yes. You mentioned the matchup this week, and you also with the defense and the offense being totally efficient. Kendrick just mentioned the special teams. He finally had the first kickoff return for a touchdown in team history. I would expect maybe another one this weekend, because if he gets one lane, it seems like he's gone.
Yeah, hopefully, man. Hopefully, we've been putting together a nice little return game this week. Coach put in a new one this week for me, and I love the way it looks. So if we execute that, I believe I can get one in the end zone, man, and at least give us great field position. That's my goal, is to secure the ball and give us great field position. You mentioned in my first ever kick return against Albany, but I know you remember when I fumbled that kick return and they recovered it for a touchdown. That hurted us, and that really beat me up the whole week, and I didn't like it. So this week, every day since then, I've been securing the football, make sure I have the ball at the end of the play.
Maybe I'll start calling the Roadrunner on the broadcast if he starts breaking it past, at least breaking it past midfield.
He'll do it.
We can absolutely do that. Blackjacks against the Philadelphia Soul this Sunday at 4 o'clock at the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia. Catch the action right here on 97.3 ESPN. Pregame coverage beginning at 3:30 p.m. Stay tuned later for Game 6 of the NBA Finals coming up later on this station. Thanks to Kendrick Ings. Thanks to head coach Ron James as always. We'll be back next week, next Thursday, and we'll see if the Blackjacks are back at 500 after this week against the Philadelphia Soul. I am Nick Kosko saying so long. You've been listening to Blackjacks Weekly presented by Bud Light right here on 97.3 ESPN.